Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English news edition brought to you live from RTD channel, the top series of tonight's hour. After a challenging period, Djibouti is regaining its momentum with life gradually returning from schoolyard to ministerial offices. And on the international scene, protecting wetlands has become a global urgency as scientists warn of the severe impact of climate change on these vital ecosystems. Welcome back in our newsroom. As the summer holiday come to an end, the capital is gradually returning to life and activity. The streets are once again filled with traffic and the market are bustling with the sounds of buying and selling, a clear sign that the daily routine is resuming and the city's collective rhythm is back in motion. The start of the new school year is also injecting fresh energy to the city. Students are getting ready for their classes, packing their school bag, while parents are busy purchasing supplies, notebooks, clothes, and stationery, painting a picture of everyday life back into place. At the same time, state institutions are reopening after the summer break in what can be described as a government return. Public administration is also preparing to implement new policies and action plans, or turning government's programs into practical measures aimed at serving citizens and promoting transparency and efficiency in public services. State institutions, let's recall, are reopening after the summer in what can be described as the government's return. This joint return of schools and government operations mark a key moment for setting the tone for the new season. The Chief of General Staff of the Djiboutian Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, received today in his office the ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to the Republic of Djibouti, Khaled Fadi Mahmoud Al Shazli. This meeting was held on the occasion of the latest farewell visit marking the end of his mission in Djibouti. The meeting took place in a cordial atmosphere of mutual respect, during which both sides discussed the strong military and security cooperation between Djibouti and Egypt, as well as a prospect for further strengthening this strategic partnership. And at the end of the meeting, the Chief of General Staff expressed his appreciation to the Egyptian ambassador for his continued commitment to advancing bilateral relations. He also presented him with a symbolic gift as a gesture of friendship and gratitude. Now, let's continue with this report on the efforts being made for peace and sustainable development. Let's follow.
A strategic pearl nestled between Africa and Arabia, Djibouti is far more than just a dot on the map, small in size but vast in influence. This nation embodies a rare stability in a region often shaken by geopolitical storms. Since gaining independence in 1977, it has turned its geographical location into a major asset, becoming much more than a maritime crossroads, a key player in regional peace and commerce. The Bab el Mandab Strait, a checkpoint through which nearly 10% of global maritime traffic passes, places Djibouti at the heart of global stakes. Each year, millions of tons of goods flow through its ports, particularly the port of Dorale, the economic lifeline for neighboring Ethiopia, which relies almost entirely on it for its trade. But Djibouti's role goes beyond logistics. By hosting American, French, Chinese, and Japanese military bases, the country has skillfully navigated relationships with major powers, maintaining its sovereignty while benefiting from these strategic alliances, a complex equation, no doubt, but one that Djibouti balances with diplomatic finance. When Somalia plunged into chaos in 1991, Djibouti refused to remain a mere bystander. As early as June that year, it organized a conference aimed at restoring a legitimate government. Then, in 2000, came the Arta Conference, a bold initiative that brought together Somali clans, intellectuals, and political figures. In the address to the United Nations in 1999, President Ismail Omar Guelleh made a heartfelt plea not to abandon Somalia to the warlords. That commitment has never fluttered, as seen in Djibouti's discreet yet constant role in Sudanese crisis, where it has engaged in multiple mediation efforts to ease tensions. Formed right after independence in 1977, Djibouti's armed forces embodied a national spirit, discipline, rigor, and commitment. Far from focusing solely on territorial defense, they have participated in peace missions in Somalia, the Central African Republic, and even Haiti, proudly carrying the flag of a country that favors cooperation over confrontation. Djibouti proves that a nation doesn't need vast landmass to wield global influence. Through agile diplomacy, a forward-looking economy, and an unwavering commitment to peace, it stands as an example of an African that refuses to remain a mere spectator on the world stage. As its leaders say, true power doesn't lie in size, but in the ability to unite, to build, and to inspire. A lesson the entire world could learn from.
Somaliland president holds key meeting with Djibouti delegation. Today, the president of the Republic of Somaliland, President Abdulrahman Mohamed Abdullahi, held an important meeting at the presidential palace with the delegation from the Republic of Djibouti, led by Djibouti's Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mohamed Wassamediri. Discussion focused on strengthening cooperation between the two brotherly nations, particularly in the areas of trade, tourism, population mobility, and development projects that benefit both countries. The President and the Minister discussed ways and means to expand and strengthen cultural, economic, and historic ties between the peoples and the two republics of Somaliland and Djibouti. President Abdulrahman did not fail to thank the delegation for their visit, emphasizing the importance of collaboration between the two nations to develop trade, facilitate tourism, stimulate the economy, and create jobs for communities on both sides. In turn, Djibouti's Minister of Trade and Tourism, Minister Diriye, affirmed that the Djiboutian government and people are committed to further strengthening the fraternal relation between the two countries. Moving on to Dakhil region now, after years of continuous drought in the country, the rainy season has begun to bear fruit, renewing the valleys and underground water sources thanks to the Almighty. In a television interview, Mohammed Ali, Deputy Regional Director for the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Livestock, explained that the Dakhil region is the largest in the country, has seen a revival in vegetation and water sources are beginning to replenish. This is a welcome change for the residents of the region who had to travel nearly 40 kilometers to fetch water. Meanwhile, the Grand Barwam Plain and the Gobat Plain are now well irrigated, much like the Dhaka Plain. Mr. Mohammed Ali also emphasized that these rains are a blessing from the Almighty, who revives the earth after it has been lifeless. After Dakhil now, it's Adailu's turn to deal with the effect of climate change. Heavy rains recently hit the Weimar area, causing flash floods and significant damage to property, especially in surrounding areas like Adailu, Gerubi, and Definato. According to initial reports, rising flood waters submerged many gardens, sweeping away numerous crops. Among the losses were mango and lemon orchards, as well as wells that were partially or completely blocked. The livestock sector was also severely impacted, with around 200 goats being swept away by the rising waters. In response, the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Musa, visited the affected areas to assess the damage. He reported that around 100 gardens were affected by the storm and emphasized the urgent need to support the farmers and herders in the region. Local authorities and relevant agencies are still on standby to assess the most immediate needs and consider measures to assist the affected populations. And now, these regional statements on climate change impact. In a recent statement, a local provided a detailed explanation regarding the impact of climate change in the region. He said, after a year of severe drought, rural areas experienced a sudden heavy rains that lasted for a short period but caused devastating flash floods, resulting in significant losses for local communities. Hundreds of goats, along with thousands of cattle and sheep, were lost. The floods also swept away vast grazing areas and uprooted hundreds of trees. Local residents reported also that the floods also caused environmental damage, including soil erosion and the destruction of fertile land once used for agriculture and grazing. Some wells, he said, essential for the community's drinking water supply, were also damaged. The residents believe this disaster clearly reflects the effect of climate change, which is causing extreme weather trend shift, alternating between long droughts and destructive winds. This is increasing the vulnerability of rural villages and threatening the livelihood of their inhabitants. The affected people are calling for an urgent assessment of the damages and immediate support to compensate farmers and herders, as well as to protect the local environment for further deterioration. Moving on to Al Sabih region now, as part of efforts to fight against illegal activities, customs officers in Al Sabih, in close collaboration with the national police and military, successfully intercepted a large quantity of smuggled goods consisting of cat. The seized goods, weighing approximately 4,000 kilograms of cats, were en route to the capital Djibouti city. In accordance with the standard procedures, the seized material was destroyed on site in the presence of the head of Al Sabih Customs Brigade. Customs officials emphasized that combating smuggling is a national priority and requires vigilance and cooperation from all citizens. Traffic accident on National Road number 1. On August 22, 2025, at 8 p.m., a heavy goods truck carrying metal bars heading to Ethiopia slipped and overturned on National Road number 1 at the turn leading to the village of Ria. The incident caused significant traffic congestion, halting traffic movement on the highway. Upon receiving the report, the Ria traffic police immediately intervened to secure the area, restore traffic flow, and ensure the safety of road users. In response to the situation, a crane team from the National Gendarmerie was dispatched to the scene to assist the Ria traffic police. During the operation, traffic safety teams diverted road users to a side road to avoid any potential traffic hazards. After several hours of continuous effort, the National Gendarmerie Traffic Safety Team successfully cleared the blockade lanes without any further incidents. The National Gendarmerie leadership urged all users of National Road number 1 to exercise caution and strictly adhere to traffic laws, especially speed limits. Let's turn now to the regional news. A new French school opened in Hargeisa. In the heart of Hargeisa, the capital of Somaliland, a unique school has opened its door. For the first time in the city's history, a French-speaking kindergarten is welcoming young children, marking an important step for the French-speaking community living there. The French school in Hargeisa is fully dedicated to early childhood education. Designed according to international preschool standards, it provides a safe and suitable environment for children growth. The facility has already attracted many French-speaking families residing in Somaliland's capital. The school is part of the French Agency for Education Abroad, which supports both public and private institutions that wish to develop French education overseas. This affiliation ensures quality education, providing peace of mind for parents who want to give their children a French standard education. During our visit on site, we found modern classrooms designed to meet the needs of young children, along with colorful spaces that encourage play, learning, and growth. The laughter and curiosity of the children reflect the warm atmosphere of this pioneering school. The opening of this school is also meets the needs of many Somali families residing in Europe, especially in France and Switzerland, who regularly return to Hargeisa for short stays. These families, who have long been concerned about their children's education, can now feel at ease in knowing that their children will have access to a school that respects the French curriculum and language program. In Kenya now, Nairobi hosted the Africa Tech Challenge, bringing together young African innovators to develop skills in digital manufacturing, programming, and tech innovation. Hundreds of young talents from Africa showcase projects addressing local challenges with a focus on digital entrepreneurship. The event served as a key platform for learning and networking with tech experts. Government and international leaders attended, highlighting the importance of boosting digital skills for youth to shape Africa's future economy. Football now, Morocco and Madagascar reached CHAN final. Morocco and Madagascar advanced to the CHAN final after wins over Senegal and Sudan. Morocco, two-time champions, showed their experience in a solid victory, while Madagascar made history by reaching their first ever final. The final promises an exciting clash between the two teams, with Africa eagerly awaiting to see who will claim the title of champions. On the international scene now, in Gaza, dozens dead, a Trump to lead meeting on Gaza. As Israeli airstrikes continue in Gaza, 54 more people have died since dawn, and 58 Palestinians were injured in a raid in Ramallah. In Gaza, 303 have died from starvation, including 117 children. President Trump announced a meeting today on Gaza, but stated that predicting a decisive outcome is impossible. Meanwhile, Qatar's foreign ministry confirmed that Israel has yet to respond to a proposal from Hamas urging Israel to engage seriously. Scientists warn of wetland lost by 2050. Scientists warn that clearly 20% of the world's remaining wetlands could disappear by 2050 due to climate change and human activities. Wetlands, which cover only 6% of Earth's surface, support 40% of species and protect 60% of coastal populations. However, they are disappearing 3 times faster than forests. Wetlands store vast amounts of carbon and play a key role in cooling the climate since 1970. Humans have lost 22% of wetlands, and continued decline could result in $39 trillion in economic losses by mid-century. Finally, artificial intelligence reshapes the job market, youth most affected. A Stanford University study shows AI is reshaping the U.S. job market with younger workers hit hardest. Employment for software developers aged 22-25 has dropped 20% since late 2022, while sectors less impacted by AI saw hiring increases. Customer service jobs are the most affected by automation, while older workers in AI-focused fields have seen job growth. So that's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and have a good time.